Bienvenidos de nuevo. Bueno, pues ya he cogido la llave que estaba acá con esa otra tía. Ahora vamos hacia la guarida del Doctor Octopus. Las llaves. La llave de las celdas. Y pues bueno.
These poor people lost their lives only a few hours ago. They could not survive this mutilation.
If only we'd known sooner.
Pues ya ni modo. La gente muere todos los días. Ahora vamos con ese cojonudo.
This note carefully describes the sequence of the experiments. There are even sketches. It's hard not to feel sick. This is proof of all the horrors committed here.
Pues bueno, vamos a ver qué show.
A sit locked.
Espera. Aquí está.
Afra? What a surprise to see you here. You finally came to your senses.
Master, it's not...
Who is this person?
I'm the legate of the merchant congregation, and I'm here to put an end to your crimes.
My crimes? What are you talking about? My work was for the good of humanity. Don't tell me you're crying over some savages. The survival of our species requires sacrifice.
What did you hope to find from all these experiments?
Since the Malachor never reached this island, I wanted to check if these savages were sensitive to it. And I discovered that they were naturally resistant. Do you realize the implications of this discovery? So I tried to isolate this resistance to develop a cure in order to send it to the people on the continent. But I doubt that you will be able to understand the subtlety of such an approach.
Why do you bother with the Norts?
You are known to be immunized too. I wanted to check the reality of such a statement. To be precise, this is not the case. You are actually more resistant.
How many of my people did you have to slaughter to reach that conclusion?
Come on, Afra, my dear student. Will you let these narrow-minded inquisitors decide my fate? Are you not also devoted to science and truth?
Science and truth do not excuse your lack of humanity. I'm ashamed of having been taught by you, and that I didn't warn Burin that you'd gone mad. If I had, we could have prevented all of this.
You disappoint me so much, Afra. A second time. When I think what I wasted trying to teach you science.
We learned everything we wanted to know. This lab will close and you will answer for everything you have done.
You think so? Guards, capture these people!
Pues ya ven que les dije, no lo iba a dejar hasta...
Let's go!
Grenade!
Uy, ya se cayó.
Stop! Think of my knowledge. All that I have accomplished. That can never disappear.
You will answer for your crimes in court.
But I'll be out soon. My colleagues will understand the importance of my work.
We shall see about that.
Pues lo pudo haber matado, pero hoy me siento piadoso. Engranajes. Carta de otro doctor al doctor Asili. Vial de polvos oscuros hallado en el cofre del doctor Asili. Estos polvos deben de ser importantes para sus experimentos. Si lo analizamos podríamos descubrir de qué se trata exactamente. Trabuco de Asili, pero pues tiene muy... Ah, pero aturde bastante bien, ¿eh? Y daño elemental, que no sé bien qué significa eso. Precisión 5, no tengo esa precisión. Dice, ha conseguido que el joven gobernador de Nueva Sirene y su primo se tomen la poción que me envió. A ver, doctora Silly, he conseguido que el joven gobernador de Nueva Sirene y su primo se tomen la poción que me envió. He tenido mucho cuidado, tal y como me ordenó. Nadie más lo ha tocado. Sin embargo, debo de admitir que su petición me ha parecido algo inusual y peligrosa. Somos aliados de la congregación y me temo que no se tomarían a bien nuestra implicación en lo que podría considerarse un envenenamiento. Espero que en el futuro lleve a cabo este tipo de misiones usted mismo en vez de arriesgar las vidas de sus colegas. Órale, entonces este cabrón envenenó al primo y pues en parte pues a mí.
I can't believe it. Constantine's malachor was caused by a silly. The potion we were made to drink when we landed on the island was contaminated. How dare he do such a thing? And why?
Either this doctor is crazy, or he wanted to provoke a war against the natives and the congregation.
Pues bueno, acabamos de descubrir una verdad bastante interesante, ¿eh? Sin duda alguna. Estoy un poco perdido, pero ya me llego.
May the grass be forever soft under your feet.
I must release the other prisoners.
¿Qué dice?
Let's go now.
Y vamos por los últimos.
Now that they are free, we must help the prisoners escape this place.
If they leave through the city,
It's blocked.
Vale, pues vamos a proseguir por esta cueva para salir quién sabe dónde.
Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this fate!
It's perfect. We just have to clear the way.
Pues sigamos despejando el camino. A ver qué onda con esto. Ah, ok. Tengo que ir por acá. Y supongo que va a abrir alguna palanca o algo por el estilo. ¿Qué demonios?
Let's go. I found a way out of the city. But be careful. You are weakened, and creatures roam these tunnels. I will lead the way.
Ah, a ver. Es por acá. Esta vez sí ya me voy a decidir porque pues sí también quita tiempo agarrar las cosas. Quedaría ser algo un poco más automático porque después de un tiempo sí es un poco tedioso.
I need a bit of practice.
Practice. I need a practice. Luego hacia arriba y listo.
Poison on my blade. Let's see if you can ward off this fate.
Aquí como que se traba. Ahí está. Ahora sí, prosigamos. Pues ahí está, por fin salimos de este maldito lugar donde hay demasiados enemigos. Y pues ya vieron que también no fueron tan sencillos, por lo menos sí tuve que intentarlo ahí un par de veces para poder pasar bien. Pero pues al final de cuentas aquí estamos. Y es lo que importa, que nosotros seguimos avanzando, nos seguimos moviendo en búsqueda pues de la verdad, tanto de la Malachor como pues de estos aliados que al parecer algunos están un poco más locos que otros.
You have
Pero pues bueno.
saved our lives. How can we thank you? We will never forget what you have done for us on Almenawi.
Yes, we will always be grateful.
We're not very far from the Hikmet outpost. You will have to be careful.
I know how to reach the port without being seen.
Perfect. As for you, you should take refuge in Vigshadir. You will be safe there, but you should avoid the Alliance patrols.
We'll get there. Qua awalem segven.
Bueno, pues ahora vamos a informarle a este tío que según dice que no sabe nada. Pero pues todos dicen lo mismo. ¿Ustedes le creen o no le creen? Es que aquí si salgo me va a llevar pero a otro lugar del mapa. Ah, pero igual puedo regresar. A ver, es que si me lleva como que a otro... Ah, no, sí. Y es que aquí, por ejemplo, le pongo Sarder y listo. Me teletransporta a este lugar, que estoy más cercano al gobernador. Prácticamente de frente. Aquí no puedo crear ni construir nada, Lo voy a guardar nada más por las dudas, a ver si no se nos pone loco o algo así. O nos declara la guerra o yo qué sé. Ya ven que luego se les bota. Están un tanto loquillos.
Your Excellency,
Lord de Sade, and to what do
I've been to Asili's laboratory and what I discovered. Hundreds of poor souls tortured. There was so...
How horrifying.
The natives were not the only victims of these crimes. There are also a number of Nauts.
Nauts? Pardon me for doubt. And have you brought Dr. Asili to me so he may answer the...
Yes, we captured him.
Really? Very well. What was done with the prisoners that were being held?
They were freed. The Danae Exregao are satisfied and should call off their attack.
What a relief. Finally some good...
By allowing me to take part in the trial proceedings. What I saw merits justice, and I fear that the accused will find a great many defenders amongst his fellow savants.
It is a rather novel request, but granted. I shall inform the prosecutor. Let us remember that the madness of a man should not cast a shadow upon the greater sum of his work. His research is perhaps our only chance of discovering a remedy. Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
Pues nos subió la reputación, a pesar de todo.
I have to go. Look forward to...
Farewell, my lord.
Ahora vamos a con el fiscal para pues decirle que vamos a participar en esta situación. Porque pues hemos descubierto bastante, no solamente estuvo en contra de los nautas, sino también de los insulares y de nosotros mismos. Entonces pues claramente vamos a hacer justicia como se merece ese loquito. Pensé que encontraría algo, pero no. Pues hemos llegado.
Hello. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
De Sade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
Oh. It is you who arrested Dr. Asili, and...
Exactly.
Excellent. We will have lots to do if we want the Doctor to pay for his crimes. The accused has a lot of support. Any evidence and tests...
We'll have no problem gathering witnesses. His laboratory cells were full of them.
We will call them to the witness box, of course. But be aware that if the victims are natives, their words will unfortunately not...
There were also some Nauts. Perhaps I could convince some of the Doctor's colleagues to talk.
Their testimony will be crucial. The word of other scholars is likely to be the only thing that condemns that, plus any material evidence you can gather.
I picked up a strange powder in the laboratory. A substance that I've not been...
You should show it to an alchemist. We need to know what it is to be able to use it.
These documents describe Dr. Asili's work, as well as the horrible experiments he was performing.
Perfect. I will read them in detail. We will no doubt find...
I have found a letter proving that Dr. Asili voluntarily transmitted the Malachor to my cousin, Constantin d'Orsay. I would like to add that I too was a victim of this poisoning.
Did the accused try to take the life of the governor of New Serene? This is an extremely serious crime.
Indeed. He saw my cousin and me as the ideal control group to prove his theories. And no humanitarian or diplomatic consideration could put a stop to his ambition.
This letter alone is crucial proof. I will put it on our file.
Do we have any chance of winning?
Yes, I am rather confident. You have provided overwhelming... But if we had witnesses, we would have an even bigger chance.
I will return to you soon. The Nauts should be at the port, and the islanders had to take refuge in Vikshadie. As for the scientists, they said they would go back to the governor's laboratory. I should give this powder to someone who can tell me what it is.
¿Aquí qué hay que hacer? Ah, yo pensé que tenía que ir con este alquimista.
Desade, I'm happy to see you.
I would like you to tell me about Asili. Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all sacrifices?
No. I may have believed that at one time, without, of course, ever Dunkers to worship it as...
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student any longer.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. Over time, he became more and more cruel. I found his approach. He spoke of the art that...
You do know that you...
Yes, but I was...
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced in...
No. He wanted... I hope we'll...
Would you be willing to testify against Dr...
Of course. I want to convince my... And even if it... Anything else.
I must leave you.
Bueno, pues ya tenemos un testigo. Que justamente yo también lo había pensado, Qué mejor testigo que su aprendiz. Alguien que se supone que lo conoce por tiempo y enseñanza. A ver, ahora vamos acá con el alquimista para que descifre los polvitos oscuros. Que vaya por ser oscuro, que es malo, que eso suena poco incluyente. Ja, ja, ja. Miren, ahí destruir una pared o no sé qué onda. Y... esperen, esto me lleva a otro lugar. Convence a un auto de que testifique. Oh, vale, aquí también está el nauta. Eso es bastante bueno, Ah, joder. Ah, se lo están madreando.
Is everything all right?
Once again, thanks to you.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying.
The Doctor will be judged.
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt on your life by these...
Don't worry. From now on, my people will watch over me until I can and I intend to witness the execution of our torturer.
Thank you. Your word will be crucial,
Pues no querían que testificara esta tía, pero pues ahora está más decidida que nunca. Eso es bueno, porque hay quien le da miedo, pero esta tía no.
I never thought I'd see you here again. Why are you still free?
Dr. Honor made sure that I was set free. He needed my help. What do you want?
What do the other scholars think of Dr. Asili now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He is... was. They didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the natives. For them, the main problem is political, given that until they understand the horrors that happened there, they will not have any moral issue.
What is your purpose here?
I helped Dr. Honor to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their experiments and returned to Al-Sad.
I discovered this strange powder in one of the laboratory's chests. Do you know what it is?
I did see the doctor using it once or twice, but I don't know what it is. But I can study it for you if you want. I have the...
So? What is it?
It is a quintessence of black blood. Probably created using the blood of numerous patients. The doctor managed to harness the very concept of the Malachor in this powder. A single pinch ingested by someone would be enough for them to be afflicted by the disease. With the quantities that you brought me, hundreds of people could be contaminated. It's terrifying. I cannot believe Asili would do such a thing. Here, these are my notes. I wrote down all the details of my experiments, as well as my conclusions.
Thank you. I will relay them to the prosecutor. Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
I would like to say no. You had me thrown in prison, and without Dr. Honor's intervention, I would still be there. But I can't stop thinking about what we did in that laboratory. I think only by testifying will I ease my conscience.
Thank you. Your story could change the outcome of this trial. I must leave you. What she saw working alongside Asili obviously upset her. She will make an excellent witness.
Pues bueno, ya estamos ganando más gente que testifique y eso es bueno porque si se muere uno, pues ahí está otro, ¿no? Hasta cierto punto. Ah, vale, aquí está el otro. ¿Pero dónde? Arriba. Ah, es igualito al otro. Es que aquí les gusta reciclar mucho.
Dr. Honor, what do you want?
What is your role and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the governor's laboratories. My main research, above all, we searched for a way to reduce the suffering of...
Searched?
Now that we have access to my colleague Asili's work, it gives us hope of...
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame for him to have done all this for...
What do you think of Dr. Asili now that you've learned how he conducted his research?
Well, Obviously, the few excesses he has conceded himself are unfortunate, but he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever known. His work has... It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his life's work just to what he has done.
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake, but he meant... And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to...
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So are you ready to defend a man who used to torture and murder to advance his research?
Indeed, because I think the entire work of a scientist should not be judged on a single mistake. It is obvious that he should not have used such methods, but Asili has never been very political. I doubt he understood the implications of his actions.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused could have been expensive for our governor, but let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate of a few of those
Afra, did you have something to say to Dr. Honor?
Thank you, Desade. I feel it is my duty to warn him. You probably know that I was one of Dr. Asili's students.
Naturally. It is undoubtedly under his influence that you have developed this remarkable analytical spirit.
Perhaps. But my analytical mind also pushed me to refuse to continue working with him. I saw his madness and cruelty grow deeper, and what we discovered in this laboratory was abominable. We must condemn him, not only so he can pay for this crime, but to free science from these kinds of abject methods.
Very well. You've convinced me. I will now testify for the prosecution. It is true that it's time to turn the page and leave his cruel methods behind.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Honor is an influential scholar. His testimony would convince the judges.
Pues bueno, ya convencí a los eruditos, vamos a ver también a los nautas. Ya solamente faltan los insulares, que pues prácticamente no valen para nada en esta ciudad. Porque como ya bien escucharon, a ver qué es esto, Capitán Región. Ya bien escucharon, pues están como que en disputa. De hecho, literalmente, como les había mencionado en el gameplay del episodio anterior, en el principio hubo una guerra entre esta facción y los insulares. Entonces, pues definitivamente no se llevan bien. Pero pues igual, si ven que son pacifistas, a lo mejor eso de alguna manera solucione a nuestro favor su testimonio dentro de pues de toda esta relación con Asili. Porque bueno, lo importante es hacer justicia, pero sobre todo hablar con la verdad. Entonces, por lo que tengo entendido, Asili no habla con esa verdad. Y ahí es donde pues desemboca el problema mayor.
Hey! You are the Olol Menawi who freed us.
They thought I was apes.
No, if
You
made it.
I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they have suffered so much. I believe our investigation is coming to an end. Let's find the prosecutor.
Pues bueno, aquí. Oh,
You have
es un
returned, Your
holograma.
Excellency. Do you have any news on our matter?
A naught victim of the island.
Indeed.
I managed to convince the scientist.
Perfect.
Afra, one of Dr. Asili's former students, has agreed to testify.
Excellent. This woman is very...
An alchemist studied the powder that we found in the laboratory. It seems that less than a pinch of this powder is enough to contaminate who... There's enough here to make a small town sick.
A terrifying thought. I will add the analysis. You have gathered overwhelming evidence. The defense... I think we can go to trial with confidence now.
Will the trial begin soon?
It seems to be the right time. Excellent I think we have every chance of winning.
Where will the trial be held?
At the palace. I regret to inform you that you will not be able to attend. However, I'm sure the governor will keep you informed of the outcome.
Reputación aumentó,
Madame, congratulations. The trial was exemplary. Asili's madness was exposed to the entire world. And you have demonstrated the horror of his methods.
Thank you, Excellency. But all praise should be showered upon Sir Desai. The evidence he supplied was...
It was necessary that you hear the victims, in order to understand the extremities to which your science has taken you. Not science, but the savants were. It is never right to set aside no knowledge justifies killing or...
Your words are wise.
You have not always shown yourself a man of impeccable judgment, Excellency.
We are all, from time to time, victim of our own blind enthusiasm. This trial has shaken my usual resolve. It may very...
Vale, me dio bastante reputación.
Your Excellency.
Lord, and to what?
I have to...
Farewell.
Pues vamos a la ejecución a acompañar a Afra.
Afra, are you certain that you want to attend this?
I do not want to attend. I must.
Dr. Asili, you have been found guilty of all accusations brought against you. In consequence, the Bridge Alliance Tribunal condemns you to death. Do you have any final words?
You treat me like a monster. But how many times have you stayed your own hands? So close to the goal to finally find a remedy, you would have done as I. What do a few lives mean when the future of all humanity hangs in the balance? You are nothing more than idiots, incompetents, and you, Baron, are the greatest hypocrite of all. You know that I am right.
Executioner, earn your pay.
You know that I am right.
Oh, pero qué mal que no se ve la cabecita. La prueba. A ver, vamos a guardar un poco la partida aquí. Ah, no se puede. Bueno, vamos a hablar con esta tía.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
Tell me about your studies with Dr. Asili.
He was not always mad, you know. His unusual methods saved many lives, and I was very... He taught me a lot. He was a great... It's only when I joined him on the island that he seemed changed and complete. He was so shaken by that. Such a waste. For the native...
I'm under the impression...
I'm learning about...
I must...
Pues vamos con Vasco, Porque pues al parecer ya terminé con esa tía.
Glad to see you, my friend. Can I do anything for you?
How did you become a Nord?
I was given to the North.
I think I took the... I'm asleep.
Pues vamos de regreso para pues comentar sobre toda esta situación.
Glad to see you, my friend.
Desade.
I must leave you.
Pues creo que ya nomás queda Kurt.
Greenblood, my friend. I know he's responsible for what happened in this camp, but you look quite busy. Come back and see me when you're ready. Anything else?
Pues no, de hecho se supone que ya puedo ayudarte. Pues a ver, voy allá a esa zona a ver qué sucede. Porque pues no me dejó aceptar una misión. Entonces no sé bien qué es lo que procede.
Constantine, my dear cousin.
I'm always happy to see you.
Pero no le podemos decir sobre lo que acaba de suceder, de que matamos a quien lo convirtió en lo que es. No sé qué onda con esto. Y no sé qué onda. Ese que es arriba. Quítate.
Sir de Corsilion.
Desade, my young student.
I found no traces of Professor Seraphedin yet.
That's most regrettable.
but keep looking. Can your old professor still
The mission you entrusted me with has made great progress.
Very well. Oh, this is remarkable. Thanks to you, the prince will surely be very... Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
Explorador, un nuevo trofeo de bronce.
Looking forward to seeing you.
Creo que es por los campamentos que ya descubrí todos. En pocas palabras, ya tengo desbloqueado todos los lugares pues donde se puede visitar de alguna forma. O sea, prácticamente ya terminé de explorar el mapa. Y el serafín todavía me falta. Pues vamos con los nautas, a ver qué nos dicen. Y nos dicen, hola.
Come closer, good people. Liqueur and wine from the continent. Tier for de-alcohol.
Pensé que era un mercader. Quiero tomarlos, pero al final creo que sí termino tomando la mayoría. Y pues aquí estamos.
Desarde, what can I...
Captain Vasco, I'm glad to see you again. Did you profit? You want me to entrust you with a lot?
Indeed.
Very well. A short time ago, we lost one of our ships near the island.
I have heard about it. An incomprehensible sinking.
We cannot let them...
¿Qué demonios fue eso? Subir de nivel. Ni siquiera sé por qué subí de nivel. Porque no hice nada, solamente me teletransporté. Oh, ya sé dónde estoy. Esto es casi del principio también. Se supone que había, creo que unas piedras o algo que no me dejaba pasar. Y pues tal parece que ya voy a poder acceder a esta parte. Y yo pensé que sí, ya había descubierto todos los lugares. De hecho, al principio aquí creo que tenía que quemar unos nidos o algo así. Y salían justamente estas cosas. Aquí era donde no podía pasar. Que se me mueve mucho el joystick ya, ¿no? ¿Dónde estoy? Oh, una piedra. ¿A dónde voy? Ni idea.
Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go! Watch out! Grenade!
Oh, miren lo que me encontré.
There it is.
I must admit, it is awe-inspiring.
The corpses are chained up. These beasts were captive. Could they have died during the sinking?
I don't think so. They don't seem to have drowned. Something bigger slaughtered them, but no effort at all.
A ver si no sale una super bestia como esa.
It looks like an enormous cage. But look.
It's been broken. Is this ringing any bells for anyone else?
The hull was torn apart. And given the way that the wood is broken, it came from the inside. Damn it. What happened here?
La bestia la llevan en esta cosa, la rompió y se salió por acá.
This ship was apparently carrying creatures from the island. The largest one managed to escape and made a hole in the hull as it tried to run away, just like in Serene. The sailors didn't stand a chance.
The Admiral will not be satisfied with our deductions. She will want concrete proof. Let's keep searching.
Bueno, pues ahora hay que matarlo.